terminal infiltrated. Serious trauma detected. Medical assistance needed.
Put him down. Still kicking. I'm reloading my weapon.
What's up, agents? Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's video is going to be the Energize build. Now, before we get into this, I just wanted to say thank you very much for the support, guys. I've made a second channel for Cyberpunk 2077. I upload on there weekly. Link will be in the description. Also, I'm going to potentially make a tribute video to the 50k subscribers on YouTube. Honestly privileged. It's a blessing from you guys. Thank you very much for supporting me. When I do it, I might even include some gameplay when I used to play on PlayStation 4. I have some clips of me abusing aim assist on an SASG shotgun in the DZ, and some manhunts, so some rogue policing as well, so some fun in games. So we'll see how that goes, but obviously I need to get to 50k, and hopefully we get there soon. It's been a crazy ride, so I do appreciate your support. So this is going to be a very good solo hybrid build. Now, you can also use this in a team. I'm going to go through it in depth before we get into each individual piece. I don't want to make the video 20 minutes because I can go on and on about this, but if you're on console, if you're on Stadia, if you're on PC, if you like doing damage, if you like survivability, if you like skills, this is going to be a good combination for you. One of my best and favorite hybrids to use in the game right now. I've been testing this out for a couple of days, and I honestly think it's finished now. It feels good, it's balanced, and I like the way it plays out. So the specialization we're going to be using, because we want our skills to be, well, as high of a tier as possible, whilst not sacrificing, for example, survivability and damage from our weapon. So we have got Technician. Now, you can take this build whichever way you want. I'll explain it now in a second. You can go more damage, or you can go more armor, or more skill tiers without having to utilize weapons and talents that give us skill tiers. This is a good template for you guys to work upon. Change it to suit your own playstyle. You can go crazy with this one. So we need talents like this. 12% damage to drones, skill proxies, and robotics. This is a PvE build, not a PvP build. If you want to go legendary by yourself and you're a newish player as well, this is going to help you a lot. It's a very good support build for yourself. Your drone and your turret take a lot of the damage. They mitigate the aggro from the NPCs, and you can dish out over 130k per bullet with your skills while still doing damage, 25k armor regen, and infinite armor kits and skill tiers. So we're going to go through this now. Like I said before, amped is very important. That's why we need to use Technician. We also get extra skill damage from overclock CPU. We also are immune to disruption, which is very important, and shock from those stupid shotgunners and legendary missions. Now, this is going to be even stronger in heroics, but the gameplay I just wanted to showcase on legendary because it is more of a challenge. And to be honest, guys, with this build, you'll have no issues. It is more of a defensive playstyle. It is not as aggressive as my previous videos, because my previous builds have been very aggressive. You know, memento stacks, up close and personal, SMGs, shotguns, all that. I wanted to make something more defensive and more efficient for players who aren't the most confident, or even good players will have a nice relaxing time using this. It's going to be fun to use also. So I'm using assault rifles. You can use whatever guns you want. Just to make sure you put all of those on and farm those points. Don't forget about that. So let's have a look. I'm going to quickly summarize this. The whole point of this build is to have strong skills, tier 6 and overcharge. Now, we only have 4 skill tiers, but we will, every time we proc an armor kit from perfect efficient, we get a skill tier. And every time we get a kill from our weapon, we get a skill tier. And it also overcharges us. We've got 2 ways of overcharging: the weapon and the backpack. Now, let's go through the pieces. So I've got 3-piece Wyvern 200U. So 1 Wyvern 200U, that's 3 pieces that amplify my skill damage. That makes my turret and my drone, which I go into combat, I throw them out, they dish out big damage, and they take the aggro away, so that because I've got a Fenris red, I can dish out decent amount of damage with my AR up to 300k a shot, thereby getting my skill tiers up. And I've got Spike on my rifle, which gives me more skill damage for my weapons. Now, sorry, for my skills, but don't forget that you cannot do both. So if you swap away from it, it takes away the buff. Otherwise, people would just use Spike, then swap to InSync, Spike, InSync. So InSync won't work with this, just remember that. But InSync would be a good option if you wanted to do damage together, but I wanted to try something different and utilize getting extra skill tiers. So the reason why this build is laid out like this is because we've got a Belston Armory chest piece, okay? And the Murakami knee pads. Now, these go towards armor regen, which is probably a bit strange. Now, you can change this for damage. It's completely up to you, but the 25k armor regen helps me always have my armor going up and up and up all the time. But because we have such a strong talent right here, perfectly efficient. Now, that's why this guy always knocks into me. Ethan. This is the second... Guys, can we get an F in the chat if you remember the last time that guy did that? He always does it to me. It's very strange. So, like I said before, I've got a Belston because perfectly efficient is so powerful. Using an armor kit has a 75% chance to not consume the armor kit. And I run into combat with this build, and I purposely take damage so I can proc this, because when I proc it, I can go through a room and proc my armor kit 10 times and come out with 2 armor kits left, or 3. And I can't even demonstrate that to you because it'll take too long. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes of me proccing armor kits. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends on your luck. But 75% chance we get full armor. Okay, but here's where it gets interesting. The backpack, which is energize. Now, whenever we use an armor kit from Perfect Efficient, it gives us a skill tier. So, and it also overcharges us, and the cooldown is 60 seconds. So you can see how crazy this combination is and how perfect it is for hybrids. Now, we have all these armor kits, okay, which gives us armor, which means we can be very aggressive and survive so much. Plus energize, which gives our skills so much power, because we are only at skill tier 4, but it takes us to overcharge. You will always be tier 6 if you use this weapon right here, Future Perfect Mechanical Animal. You will always be tier 6, and because we've got damage, and we've also got armor regeneration, and we've also got all these skill tiers that are available to us, I think everything works so well together, and it's very good at survivability and for damage from the skills and the weapons. Because don't forget, if you're doing damage with your weapon, you also have your 130k a bullet skills, or whatever skill you want to use. You can use other skills as well. You can even heal yourself if you wanted to. But your skills will be not only aggroing the NPCs away from you, but they will be dishing out damage themselves. And you actually melt NPCs and legendaries. It's quite surprising. So let's go through each individual piece. Hopefully you get the idea behind this. I can explain it in more detail on the individual pieces. Let's get into it now. So 1.1 million armor. I wanted to go for quite a tanky version because of the efficient. I want to be more aggressive. I want to take a bit of damage and then proc my armor kit, get energized procced, and then we have our skills doing the work. We can follow up with the weapon. Mechanical Animal, I recommend using this. You can use a different weapon if you really want to. You can even go for a damage talent. Like I said, there's so many ways you can change this and amplify it. So Future Perfect, weapon kills grant +1 skill tier for 19 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. That means we are tier 4, 5, 6, and then overcharge, which is perfect. I recommend having 4 skill tiers. It's up to you though. You can maybe have another yellow and go for the firewall specialization, and then have a really strong armor kit, because the firewall specialization would be really good, but we are losing other utility from other areas, like the damage to the skills, to the robots, and the extra skill damage from the one piece overclock CPU from the technician specialization attributes. So it's up to you, dependent. So don't forget to put damage targets out of cover. When you're modding these weapons, I went for crit chance because I wanted to showcase that you can actually achieve just under 60%, but you can put whatever you want. Like I said, dependent on if you want more headshot damage, if you want to put a scope on it, it's really up to you. You can take it wherever you want to take it. The Surge Rifle as well, Perfect Spike. This does not stack with NSYNC, just remember. So headshots grant 25% skill damage. So what you can normally do is, if you get into a spot of bother, you can shoot him in the face, get 25% skill damage, and just wait and chill if you're under pressure. And then you can peek, proc an armor kit. It doesn't even take the armor kit away most of the time, 75% of the time, and then you get all that skill tier, and then you can just chill. Your turrets can do the work, or whatever skill you want to use, and then you can just hang back. So yeah, there is another weapon that gives you a skill tier, the card custom, but I wouldn't recommend. It's not a pistol build, so it's up to you. You can also just hold this and use spike. But I do that sometimes, especially in the directors. We run out of ammo, so that's up to you guys. You can do that on your own time. So the 1-piece Honey U is going to give us a skill haste, and then the 2 is skill damage. Very nice. The most efficient way to get skill damage is 1 Wyvern, 2 Honey U. So we're going to do it in sections this time. So we're going to do the skill, the regen, then the damage. The skill is going to be the Honey U, crit chance. Now I can roll whatever I want over the status effect, or I can change the skill tier to a red. So I've kept it open for you guys to have a look so I can explain. What I would probably do is go for skill damage instead of status effect. But if you wanted to use a hive, you could still do decent damage and status effect damage. So it's really up to you. So just remember, 2-piece Hunter U is very good. Yeah, so the gloves are going to be the second piece, skill haste, skill damage. Then the holster is going to be Wyvern, skill damage, with skill damage status effects. Skill haste would probably be better, but with skills like this, I don't really need skill haste. As long as I have the patience. There's about a 15-second cooldown when it gets destroyed, so you can, through mods, increase that, and that's probably what I would do, because the crit chance is something I wanted to showcase just to show you how far you can take this, but it's completely up to you. Then we're going to move to the regeneration part. The Balsam, because of Perfect Efficient, which is way better than normal Efficient, is very good. We also get 100% bonuses from our armor kit, so that's why the Firewall is good. But Remember, like I said earlier. So perfectly efficient, crit chance, armor regen, and armor. That's why we have quite a decent amount of armor regen considering. Now, like I said before, memento would work well, but you wouldn't get energized. So, you know, you've got to try and weigh up the differences in playstyles and decide which way you want to take this. So we have got the one piece with perfect efficient. That's going to give us the armor regen, and then the knee pads. Now these are swappable, you can take out them if you want. I do get skill duration, which might I add is very good, especially if you want to use like the purple chem launcher, which deals damage to armor, the oxidizer, because skill duration is the amount it increases the amount of time that is out, the cloud is existing, so you'll do more damage. Also, if you want to heal yourself with the chem launcher, this will keep it on the ground for longer to heal you for longer periods of time. You know, it's more efficient. But I've gone for this because, like I said, explosive resistance, which is nice, armor regen, armor rolled, and 20% skill duration, which does help me. But it's more, to be honest, for that armor regen roll there, which takes us to about 25k. Then to get a bit of weapon damage, now you could roll another red on this build, no problem. It's completely up to you. Fenris bag, which gives us, this is actually a really nice one, maxed out weapon damage, assault rifle damage there, skill damage, crit chance, and energize. Make sure you use this. Remember, every time we use the armor kit, we get a skill tier and we get overcharge. So make sure you guys put that in your bag and give it a try. So like I said before, I modded everything crit chance. You can go for whatever you want. Oh, I think you could potentially put protection from elites if you wanted to be more tanky. Skill haste if you wanted to get your skills a bit faster. Skill duration, let them last longer. You can have repair skills if you want to use a healing hive with your skill. There's a lot of ways you can change this up, so you can just go have a look. Maybe even armor on kill. It's completely up to you guys, so just take a look at that and decide from there. Okay, so let's go through the statistics, then we'll go through the skills. 54% crit chance, and I think I can roll it on one more piece of gear, so I could achieve just under 60% crit chance. We have got 57% crit damage, so we will be doing a decent amount of damage. I will just scroll through it. You guys can pause the video if you want to have a look at any of the other stats. The skill, I have got 31% skill haste, so it does pop up pretty well. It doesn't take too long, might I add. Then with the drone, like I said before, you can use whatever skill you want. We have got a decent amount of health, 50k. Now this does hit a lot harder obviously when we get the overcharge, because it is registering a tier 4 right now, so don't even bother about reading that damage. It goes up a lot. I'll give a demonstration when we go down to the firing range in case people are a bit confused. So yeah, you can use whatever skills you want. It's completely up to you guys. The artificial hive could actually keep your turret alive longer, so your turret does more damage and it tanks more damage, and the artificial hive will regenerate the actual turret. So you can go mad with this. So let's go through the let's go to the firing range, and I can quickly demonstrate this just to give you guys an idea of exactly what's happening. So it is currently on heroic, and we will just put it on a normal difficulty, just veteran, close range. Okay, so as you guys can see, we're doing about 200k. Look at that. You can dish out a decent amount of damage. So if you look at my turret, sorry, my drone, currently it is now tier 5 because we got a kill. So if I get this kill again, it's now, you see it's tier 5 again. So you need to watch out, because this actually happens to me quite often. You see, as I start aiming at the NPC, the drone starts it starts dishing out the damage. But as you can see, it's pretty decent even for a tier 4. But as soon as you do that, we get the kill. It's tier 5 again. We can just kill something over there just to demonstrate. So now it is currently tier 6. That's a tier 6 drone, so the damage is scaling up. So let's just finish one of these targets. So you pop up there. So now we have overcharged. So as you guys can see, we can melt these NPCs pretty well. We're dishing out 120, just under 125k a bullet, overcharged with the turret. Now the fire rate's better, everything is stronger with these turrets and these drones. And then, just to quickly demonstrate it for you guys, you see we are tier 4 right now. So if we take a bit of damage, watch the skill tier. That's tier 5. We haven't lost an armor kit yet. So it's important to note, I mean, if you're proccing an armor kit every 60 seconds, you should be fine. Now, I personally, you can use more than that because we will have a reserve of armor kits. But remember that Energize does have a cooldown. It is 60 seconds. So you can get the skill tiers pretty easily through your weapon. So now I'm tier 5. And then once your cooldown is done on your Energize, because to be honest, while you're fighting NPCs, 60 seconds does go by pretty quickly. It's completely up to you. As you can see, it's gone to skill tier 6. So you guys need to decide whether or not you think that's fine if you want to try the memento bag, but let me know in the comments. I feel like this is a very good combination, and I honestly enjoy the way it works. It feels really strong, and I like having these skills as potent as they are without sacrificing too many, going full on yellows. So let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing everybody in the next video. Peace out, agents.